is the thing that I would want you to have. Most people have a yoga mat. At the same time, if you have some yoga blocks or something that you can use as a yoga block, that is a wonderful thing. So I know as a lot of us did virtual practices through the spring and into the summer for a while, we found we didn't always have the things that we would like. So if you like to do a home-based yoga practice, yoga blocks are probably two of the things that I would most recommend. They are just so invaluable. I've been practicing for almost 20 years, and I use my yoga blocks more now than I ever did in the past. So if you have yoga blocks, fantastic. Obviously, they work as they are intended, which is to bring the ground up to you. And even in those days when I can reach for the ground, it is sometimes lovely to root down into your feet and find some length with some yoga blocks. So it allows you to expand a different part of your practice. It isn't always about reaching for the ground or reaching for the stars. Sometimes it's about rooting down so that you can take a different shape and different energy in your body than you can if you were reaching in one direction or the other. If you don't have yoga blocks, which many of us don't, then see if you can find something that functions as a yoga block. So I've used 2 equally sized books or 2 sets of cans or anything, of course, that's gonna bring the ground up to you. Number 2 thing that I recommend is some sort of pillow or something that you can place underneath your sitting bones. When you're sitting, you're stretching, and it helps you to sit on the edge of it. Not to sit on it so much, but to sit on the edge of it because it tilts your pelvis forward and allows you to hinge from your hip and not hinge or bend forward at your back. So by sitting on the edge of sometimes a block or on the edge of a pillow, it allows us to stack our head over our shoulders, over our hips, and it releases the tension of us having to hold it up with muscles that aren't really intended to be postural muscles. The other thing that you can also bring into your practice would be a towel or something that you can place underneath your knees when you are practicing. Some of us have sensitive knees, and it's really nice to be able to slip something underneath your knees as you go. I am always very attentive to stacking and alignment and balance in the body. So you'll hear a lot of my cues as we're practicing about stacking your shoulders one over top of the other, rooting down into your head, being mindful of where your head and neck is in space. I'll often say humble your chin, and what I mean by that is not so much that you force your chin back, but that you start to draw some awareness to your chin where you're bringing your chin back a little bit, and at the same time you're rising from your crown. So when you're inside postures and you are going into, for example, practices where you are looking down and you have the option of looking up, it's learning how to look up without jutting our chin up into the sky, and instead bringing our chin back into alignment so that our neck is in alignment with our spine and we can grow out of our spine. All right, so that's my 2 cents for today. This is not where I'm normally going to be practicing. If you know me, you know that I have just recently moved. And so I'm quite aware that there's quite a bit of backlight here, and so it's making me quite dark. So that's today. That won't be every day that we are in practice together. So thanks for bearing with me today. All right, as we get into the first few minutes, I want you to go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seated position. And again, if that's most comfortable for you, to slide a small seat underneath your sitting bones, by all means, please do. If you need to sit on your knees with your knees together, please do. If this is really uncomfortable for you, feel free to roll onto your back. We're just starting our practice, sitting in a nice, comfortable seat, which we call Sukhasana, easy seat. Releasing our pelvis down into the ground, closing our eyes. Starting to center your breath. Not putting any effort into your breath, but just noticing what you notice. Doing your best to stack your head over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. Relaxing your hands into your lap. Closing your eyes. And just arriving in the space that you've created for yourself. Breathing in and out through your nose. Letting your shoulders draw down your back body. Your chin gather a little bit more towards your chest, rising up through the crown of your head. And doing your best today to follow the idea of sthira and sukha. Sthira is the strength and the steadiness of life and of your yoga practice. And sukha is the ease, the sweet spot, the gentle spot. And knowing when you need ease and gentleness in your practice, and knowing when it's time to root into your steadiness and your strength, and flowing between one and the other, and seeing if you can find both in each asana, each movement, each part of your practice. Every time the four corners of your feet root down into your mat, and you reach up from your root to your crown, moving energy throughout your body with your breath, and being oh so compassionate with your practice today. Placing your hands on either side, just come to sit up, opening your eyes and starting to move. Taking your arms out to either side. Inhale, raise your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Place your palms together. Exhale, hands all the way down to heart center. Pressing your palms together, bringing your thumbs into your sternum, sliding your shoulder blades down your back, sitting up just a little bit higher. Exhale, bring your chin down towards your chest. Inhale, bring your chin up. Exhale, release, look up. Back and forth. Inhale to center. Exhale, chin to chest. Keep going. Inhale, center. Exhale, rise your chin. Two more, letting your chin come forward and back as comfortable as it is for you. And bring to neutral. Release your hands down, bring them to the side. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, palms together. Interlace your fingers, press your palms away, push forward, take your chin to your chest, roll back on your hips. Pressing forward through your fingers, feeling the opening between your shoulder blades. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, palms to heart center. Interlace your fingers again. Exhale, press forward. Let your hips fall backwards, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Maybe this time you look up. Exhale, hands all the way down to heart center. Interlace, press away. Pressing through, feeling all of the pads of your fingers pressing forward. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. Letting your eyes follow your hands. Exhale all the way down to heart center. Place your right hand on the ground to your right. Inhale your left arm up and over top. Reaching through your left fingertips, pressing into your left sitting bones. One long line all the way up to your left fingertips. Exhale, rise. Left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale all the way to the left hand side. Reaching through, feeling your sitting bones, looking up, and back again the other side. Right hand down, left arm up. And allowing it to be fluid as you go. Opening your shoulder, left arm down, right arm up. Option to look up if that feels okay on your neck, and keep going. Moving your body the way it feels good, opening up your shoulders. Keep going. Feeling your sitting bones reaching into the earth, reaching up through your fingertips. 4 more. 4. Keep going. Be kind to your shoulders. 3. And 2. And 1 more, all the way to the left. Coming forward, this time feeling your knees pressing down to the earth, starting to walk your fingertips forward. And once you get as far as you can go forward, pressing back into your sitting bones, reaching forward with your fingertips, and then releasing your head between your biceps. Inhale through your back body, exhale with some length. Inhale into your back body. Exhale, pressing back through your fingertips, reaching back through your sitting bones. 1 more deep inhale, even deeper exhale. Coming up just enough to walk your hands all the way over to the right-hand side, letting your left fingertips go just a little bit further than your right. Exhale, press back into your left sitting bone, reaching forward with your left hand, bringing your head down. Breathing into your side body. Walking your hands back to center, and this time taking them all the way over to the left-hand side, walking forward a little bit more with your right hand, pressing back through your right sitting bone, and releasing your head down. Let your air go all the way from your armpit, all the way to your right sitting bone. Breathing deeply in through your nose, exhale through your nose using Ujjayi breathing. Walking your hands all the way back to center and then walking them all the way back up. Placing your hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards your sitting bones, taking your feet out to hip distance. Inhale, exhale, press into your feet, lifting your hips up. Feel free to look forward and then exhale all the way back down. As soon as your sitting bones hit the earth, press down into your feet, down into your hands. Press all the way back up, lift your hips a little higher, exhale all the way back down. Last time, press into your feet, press into your hands, press all the way up, feel 4 corners of your feet, looking towards the ceiling, exhale all the way back down, taking your feet to hip distance all the way up to the edge of the mat. Hands to either side, just let them windshield wipe from left to right, letting your hips lift up from each side. Back and forth. And then coming to stillness, wrap your hands all the way around the front of your knees and release your head all the way down to your knees. Releasing your hands back. Take one ankle over the other, roll all the way over, and come to go to hands and knees towards the front of your mat. So making sure your fingers are nice and spread, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, tops of your feet to the mat, going into cat and cow. Inhale, release your belly towards the earth, looking forward, broadening through the collarbones. Exhale, press into your knees, press into your hands, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, scooping forward, looking up. Exhale, rolling in, feeling between the shoulder blades open. Keep going. Inhale, rolling forward, pressing into your hands. Exhale, belly button to spine. 1 more. Inhaling forward, looking up. Exhale, pressing into your hands, belly button to spine, and then release back. Let your hips go all the way back towards your feet, reaching forward, coming into child's pose. If it's comfortable, releasing your forehead to the mat. 3 breaths. Using your Ujjayi breathing throughout your practice today, which is breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, and feeling like you are constricting the back of your throat ever so gently, allowing the breath to go across the constriction. So it is an audible breath, almost sounds like an ocean sounding breath, that if I was practicing right beside you, I could hear you. All right, so working on your Ujjayi breathing, letting it warm you from the inside out, and pairing your motion and your movement with your breath. Pressing forward, taking your hands forward, take it all the way out to the edge of your mat, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, lift your hips, coming to downward facing dog. Pressing back with your hands, making sure your wrist creases are in line with the front of your mat, taking a moment to pedal out your feet from side to side. Feet are hip distance apart, and bending your knees any amount to lift your hips towards the sky. Feeling one long line of energy from your fingertips to your sitting bones. Coming to stillness and closing your eyes. Lifting your head, looking forward, waving forward, coming into high plank, coming forward on your toes, shoulders over top of wrists, pressing forward with the crown of your head, lifting your kneecaps, belly button to spine, shoulder blades sliding down your back body, and then hinging at the hips, coming all the way back into downward facing dog. As soon as you get there, nice deep bend in your knees, waving forward, coming back into plank. Option to take your knees to the mat. Exhale, coming all the way back. Bend your knees, let your chest come towards your knees, then come forward again, all the way on your tippy toes, reaching forward. Exhale, come all the way back. This time, come all the way forward. Option to drop to your knees, otherwise staying in your high plank. Feeling your body shake. Lengthening through your legs, pressing back through your heels, reaching forward with your crown for 4, for 3, for 2, and then pressing back, coming back into downward facing dog. Walking your hands all the way back to meet your feet, taking your feet hip distance apart, releasing your hands all the way to the mat or to blocks. Head's heavy. Bend your knees any amount. Taking all the creases out of the back of your neck, lengthening your head towards the ground, reaching up with your sitting bones. Option to take hold of opposite elbows in ragdoll, releasing your head between your elbows. If it feels good, you can rock from side to side, coming forward on the front of your feet, coming back onto your heels. Releasing your hands back to the mat, this time coming to a halfway lift, hands to your shins or to blocks. One long line forward, exhale, release down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold, walking your hands back out to downward facing dog. Coming forward into high plank, release your knees to the mat, untuck your toes, and lower down in one long line. Taking your feet hip distance apart, releasing your feet to the back of your mat, hands between beside your chest. Inhale, bring your chest up off the ground into baby cobra. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Looking forward. Exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale, using the strength of your back muscles to rise up into baby cobra. Exhale, all the way back down. Last time, press into your hands, lift up, shoulder blades down your back, lots of room between your ears, all the way to your arms. Exhale, all the way back down, tuck your toes, bend your knees, come through tabletop, back to downward facing dog. Taking a look forward, walk all the way to the front of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold, and then walk yourself all the way up the front of your legs, coming to Tadasana. Standing at Tadasana at the front of your mat, feet are hip distance apart. Lifting up through your inner arches, strengthening the front of your quadriceps, lifting your kneecaps, tailbone sliding down towards the earth, engaging your abdomen, belly button to spine, lifting your crown. Close your eyes. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up, exhale, hands to heart center. Do it again, release your hands, inhale, arms up, exhale all the way through heart center, coming all the way down into forward fold. Inhale, lift to halfway lift, exhale, hands down, step back with your right foot to the back of your mat, release your right knee to the mat. Inhale to come to crescent moon modified, hands on the front of your thigh, making sure that your thighs, your hips are parallel to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands up, press into your knees, lift up to your fingers. Exhale, hands down to the other side, hinging back through your hips, lift your left toes, sliding all the way back into half Hanumanasana. Releasing over your left knee. You're welcome to use blocks if you have them. Feel the stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Inhale, coming back forward. Inhale your arms up, either side. Look up. Feel your shoulder blades slide down the right back of your back. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Twist to the left, bring your right knee, or your right arm on the outside of your knee. Press hands together. Take both palms towards your chest, stacking your left shoulder on top of your right. An option to look over your left shoulder. Stay for 2 more breaths. Unwind, take your hands back, press back, both hands back, come all the way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, coming to plank, option to bend your knees, release all the way back down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, all the way back down. Come back through tabletop, all the way back to downward facing dog. Stay for 2 breaths. Feel all of your fingers pressing into the mat, especially the L shape of your hand. Bend your knees any amount so your hips are lifting towards the sky. Inhale and bring your right foot all the way through to your right hand. Release your left knee down on the mat, and then inhale to bring your hands on top of your right thigh. Square your hips to the front of your mat. And when you're ready, inhale your arms up. Press into your right foot, press into the top of your knee, reach up with your fingertips. Feel your shoulder blades sliding down your back body. Exhale your hands to either side, hinging back. Let your right toes come to the sky, half Hanumanasana. Drape forward over your right leg. Feel your right hip edge back, your left hip edge forward. Complicated posture. Allow your right knee to bend any amount if you're feeling too much stress or strain down the back of your right leg. Breathing deep into your back body. Exhale. On your next inhale, come all the way forward. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Press into your feet, reach up, look up any amount. Exhale, hands to heart center, twisting to the right. Bring your left knee on the outside of your right knee. Press your hands together. Peel yourself open to the right, stacking your right shoulder on top of your left. Option to look towards the sky or over top of your right elbow. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling. Press down, lift back up, come all the way up. Exhale, press back down. This time, bend your left knee, hinge forward to the front of your mat to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep going. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, both hands down. Step back to plank. Coming through a full chaturanga, releasing your knees to the mat all the way down. Pressing your feet into the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale down. Come back through tabletop all the way to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right foot through. Coming into warrior one, bringing your left foot down on a 45. When you're ready, press into your feet. Lift your body up, hands on your hips. Warrior one is a closed hip posture, which means that you are doing your best to bring your left hip forward and your right hip back. But because the back leg is on a 45-degree angle, if you feel like that is too much stress on your back leg, pop your foot up so that you're in a high lunge. But if you have that capability, then you can keep your foot down. When you're ready, inhaling your arms up, press down, look up, making sure your right knee is opening in line with your second and third toe. One more breath. Go a little deeper into your right leg. Reach up a little higher. Exhale, bring your hands down on the other side. Step your right foot back to plank and go through your flow all the way down, coming into cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, press back and downward facing dog. Once you get there, lift your left leg up on the inhale. Exhale, left foot through to your left hand. Warrior one on the other side. Find your feet, bring yourself up. Look forward, and when you're ready, inhale your arms up. Press into your feet, feel the outer corner, outer edge of your right foot. Bending deeper into your left leg. Toning your abdomen, bringing your belly button to spine. Shoulder blades down your back. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Release your hands all the way back down on other side. Step back to high plank. Release all the way down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale down. Come back all the way to downward facing dog. Find your downward dog and stay for 2 breaths. Downward facing dog is actually a rest posture. And a lot of times when we're learning how to put pressure and strength into our wrists, it actually becomes a posture that can be quite sore. So find your place of sukha. Find the place within your practice where you can find ease. Allow your body to find it. Oftentimes it's more of an attitude and a level of self-compassion than it is anything else. If you need to take a moment to breathe, to release the pressure of your wrists, please do. And when you're ready, take a look forward, take a step or a hop to the front of your mat, lifting to halfway lift, exhale to fold, inhale to rise, all the way up, reach up, exhale, keep going, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold, step back to plank, and either releasing your knees to the mat or coming down in full chaturanga, flipping into upward facing dog. Exhale, coming all the way back, meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up, stacking your right hip on top of your left, bending your right knee. Pressing back to the left heel, lifting up with the right knee. And making sure you're putting equal pressure through your right and left hand. Not letting your left shoulder sink into the ground, but raising it. Go a little bit higher. When you're ready, exhale, bring your right foot through to your right hand and taking your foot down off for warrior two on a 90-degree angle. Inhale, opening to the left side of your mat, hands on your hips. Taking a wide-legged stance, bending into your right knee, making sure your knee's opening to the right. And when you're ready, inhaling your arms out to the side. Right hand forward, left hand back. Release your shoulders down your back. Making sure that your body's not reaching too far forward or pulling too far back. Go a little deeper. 2 more breaths, you got it. Reversing your warrior, flip your right palm, reach it up and back as you look up, keeping your right knee bent. Reach up. Inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale, coming into extended side angle. Right elbow to right knee, left arm up and over top of your head. Reaching out through your hand, pressing through the outer left foot. Option to either keep your head looking down to the ground, or if you have the availability in your neck, opening your neck all the way up till you're looking up towards the sky. Very little pressure into your right elbow. Find the strength of your legs. You've got it. Stacking your left shoulder over top of your right. On your next inhale, coming back up to warrior 2. Take the time to straighten your right leg. Release your hips to the left. Reaching forward with your right, coming into triangle. When you've gone as far forward as you can on the right, releasing your right arm down to your outside of your knee, your shin, or your ankle, or a block. Opening up, stacking your left shoulder on top of your right. Reaching up through your left fingertips. Lengthening to your right side body. Taking a peek at where your chin is in space. Humble your chin. One more breath. You got it. Bend back into your knee, coming into warrior 2, and then windmill your left arm down on either side of your right foot. Step back to plank and either come to downward facing dog or go through your version of your flow. Take your time, meeting back in downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale your left leg up, stacking your left leg on top of your right, lifting your left knee towards the sky, pressing back through your right heel. Taking a look forward with your head, just making sure that you are pressing equally through both your arms, not sinking too far into your right shoulder. Lift a little higher. Exhale, bring your left foot through, warrior 2 on the other side. Left back foot down on a 45-degree angle. Inhale into your stance. You're going to turn around so it's a little bit more comfortable. Into your left leg. And when you're ready, opening your arms up. Finding the balance between Sukha and Sthira. Go a little deeper. Breathing deep. Go a little deeper. You've got it. Reversing your warrior, flip your front palm, exhale, reach back with your left hand, pressing into your left knee, reaching up with your left hand. Finding the length, finding your feet. Inhaling back to warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle, left elbow to left knee, right hand up and over top of your head. Pressing into your right foot, reaching out to your right hand. Finding the space, feeling your right shoulder rolling on top of your left, and then finding the position for your head, either looking down towards the ground, forward, or towards your right hand. Find some space, settling down into the posture. And when you're next inhale, inhale back to warrior 2. Straighten your left leg. Let your hips roll to the right hand side. Reaching forward with your left hand, coming into triangle. Letting your left hand settle to the inside of your thigh, your shin, all the way down to your ankle. Reaching up with your right hand. Finding the posture that's best for your neck. Looking down to the ground or up to your hand. Using the back of your left hand to press into the inner side of your left leg to open your body up. Find the length on the left side of your body. Use your breath. Bend your left knee, come back into warrior 2. And then exhale, windmill your hands down on either side, step back, come through your version of flow, or skip the flow and meet us in downward facing dog. Doing amazing. 3 breaths. Close your eyes. On your next inhale, press into your toes, lift your hips a little bit higher. Exhale, sink your heels towards the earth. One more time, inhale, come all the way up on your tippy toes. On your exhale, sink your heels towards the ground. Looking forward, taking a big step to the front of your mat, lifting into halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This time take your feet hip distance apart. And a couple options here. Option to come into ragdoll, holding onto opposite elbows, or coming into gorilla pose, where you're taking your palms underneath your foot, bringing your toes all the way to your wrist creases, bending your elbow, lifting your hips and releasing your head towards the ground. So even though you're not in flow when you're doing a stretch, there is a level of flow that happens. When you inhale, you grow a little longer, and when you exhale, you grow and stretch a little bit deeper. If you can find the tempo, you can create some extra space. 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, release your hands from underneath your feet. Release your hands to the ground. Inhale, reverse swan, reach all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a big step back with your right leg, coming into the long angle side of your mat, making sure your toes are on equal levels. Placing your hands on the back of your hips, swivel your shoulders back, elbows towards one another. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Come all the way down to halfway. Inhale, create some length. Exhale, release your hands all the way down to the ground. And keeping your feet either parallel to the outside edge of the mat, or so have your toes slightly in, micro bending through your knees so you're not hyperextending. Release your chest all the way down, walking your hands between your feet. Finding the flow, matching the posture with your breath. Making sure that your crown is heavy, reaching towards the earth. And letting your shoulder blades slide down your back body. Walking your hands forward so that your hands are placed directly underneath your face, coming into a halfway lift. Left hand right underneath your shoulders, under your face. Inhale your right arm up to the side and towards the sky. Pressing into your left hand, reaching up with your right hand. Also reaching forward with your crown, pressing back through your sitting bones. Exhale, bring your right hand down, replace it where your left was. Inhale, left arm goes up. Find the space, and if this is uncomfortable on your shoulder, then bend your left elbow wherever it's most comfortable. If you can stack them, go ahead and stack them. Find some length in your back body. Exhale, left hand down, keep going, right hand up. Right hand down, left hand up. Bring both hands down in front. Take your feet to a 45-degree angle. Walk your feet in just a little more. Coming into goddess pose, I want you to bend your knees, keep them in line with your feet. Inhale, bring your hands up to your hips. So you probably had to bring your feet in a little bit, making sure that your knees are tracking in line with your toes. And when you're ready, inhaling your arms out to the side and bending your elbows. Inhale, come a little higher. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale a little higher. You can do it. Exhale, go a little lower. And hold, pulsing for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into your feet, lift all the way up. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come all the way back down. Feeling your palms pressed together, shoulder blades going down your back, lifting up through your crown. Pressing into your feet and lengthening. Looking towards the front of your mat and then pressing up, coming to the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up, look up. Exhale, hands all the way down. Halfway lift. Exhale, the hands down on either side, step back to plank, and immediately come into downward facing dog. Walking your feet about a foot up the mat, take them to the outside edge of either side, making sure you're firmly rooted in both hands. Inhale, bring your right hand across your left side of your body, holding on to the outside of your left calf or ankle, pressing back into your left hand, pressing into your heels, squaring your shoulders, releasing your head between your biceps. Breathing deeply, in through your nose, out through your nose. Releasing your right hand down, sending yourself back up. And when you're ready, bring your left hand across to the outside of your right calf. Pressing back with your right fingers, finding your heels towards the back of your mat. Take all the tension out of your face. Releasing your left hand back, taking your feet back to hip distance, setting up for pigeon. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your right knee across to your right wrist. Walking your left leg back and just taking a peek that your left ankle is in line with your left hip. So there's a couple different ways that you can do pigeon, and none of them are wrong. You can either have your right knee inside the line, so it's almost going straight forward from your hip, or you can have it on the outside. You can try which one you want, but I feel like when your right knee is outside, it is more balanced with the rest of your body. So inhale, walk your hands back up, sit up nice and tall. And when you're ready, you can exhale, walk your hands forward and releasing onto your forearms and all the way down onto your chest. And if you're able to, you can even release your forehead down to stacked palms or to the earth. And if this is too uncomfortable for you and it bothers your knees, then feel free to roll onto your back and come into figure 4, where your right ankle is on top of your left thigh. You're reaching between, holding onto the back of your left thigh and drawing your left knee towards your chest. Staying with your breath in this posture. Finding the steadiness, the sthira. Finding the ease in the places where it feels uncomfortable. Close your eyes for 2 more breaths. When you're ready, sitting up, roll onto your right hip and then swing your left leg around and bring it on the outside of your right leg. So you're sitting, your right heel's on the outside of your left hip and your right foot is on the outside of your knee. Sit up nice and tall, Wrap your right arm around your knee. Walk your left hand behind you. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist to the left. Let your body get there over several breaths. Inhale, create a little bit more length. Exhale, root into the earth and twist a little bit more to the left. Draw your belly button towards your spine. Draw the energy from your pelvis all the way up your back body. On your next exhale, look forward and release. Coming back up, come back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs, swing your hips from side to side. And when you're ready, inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right wrist. Bring it slightly outside the line of your left hip. Walk your right leg back, making sure that right leg's in line with your hip. Inhale, walk your hands up. Broaden your chest through the front body. And then exhale, slowly release your shoulders, coming down onto your forearms and all the way towards the earth. And I failed to mention this on the other side, but if you feel like you don't have the support in your left hip, you can use a folded up towel or a blanket or a block to find the balance. What I think is really rewarding in this posture is to play around with how my hips feel. So strengthening one set of muscles, lifting my hips up a bit, doing my best to balance them out from left to right, and then releasing them back down. See where you can find some length. Two more breaths. And if you have a prop underneath your pelvis, just remove it. Rolling onto your left hip. Taking your hand underneath your right thigh, drawing it all the way around, bringing your right foot on the outside of your left knee. Sitting up nice and tall. Wrapping your left arm around your right knee, walking your right hand behind you. Inhale to create your length. Drawing your abdomen towards your spine. Exhale, rotate and open up to the right hand side. Humble your chin, draw up through your crown. Stacking your head over your shoulders, over your hips. And exhale, rotating all the way to the right. On your next exhale, looking back towards the front of your body, unwinding, bringing your leg behind and coming back in to downward facing dog. Taking your time to step your feet back. Swivel your hips from side to side. Making this your last downward dog of your practice. Finding the front of your arms, making sure all of your knuckles are pressing down. Pushing back through your hands, lifting your hips even higher to the sky. Maybe your heels sink just a little bit lower towards your mat. Spin your upper biceps up towards the sky, shoulder blades sliding down through your back. Inhale deeply through your back body. Exhale, settle a little lower. And looking forward to the front of your mat, either hopping or stepping to the front of your mat, coming into halfway lift, and this time walking your feet out to the side, taking your feet to 10-2, Coming into a yogi squat, and then exhale, sitting all the way back down, bending your knees, coming all the way down. And I know not everybody has the capability coming down towards the ground, and your feet might not be back onto the earth, and that's okay. It has to do with flexibility through the wrist, through your ankles and through your calves. And if you need to sit on a block or you need to be up on your toes, by all means, please do. Releasing down, and once you get back down, bring your elbows inside your knees, press your knees into your elbows into your knees. Bring your hands together, heart center. Press your hands together and rise up through your crown. Breathing nice and deep. Releasing your hands down, pressing into your feet, lifting your hips nice and high, coming into a forward fold. The option on your last forward fold to either coming back into ragdoll or walking your hands behind the back of your legs, inhaling for some length, exhaling, soften your knees so you can draw your face closer to your shins and draw your sitting bones closer to the sky. Making your head nice and heavy. Finding the space between being on your toes and being on your heels. Maybe just rocking back and forth if that's what feels good. Releasing your hands down, coming forward, bringing your fingertips forward. And this time, inhale your left leg back up. And then exhale, coming into a forward fold with one-legged splits. Drawing your left leg towards the sky, drawing your head and your crown closer to the mat, drawing your body in closer to your right knee. Draw your left leg up just a little higher. One more breath. Exhale, bring your left foot down. Press into your feet, all the way up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. This time pressing into both hands, firmly rooted into your left leg. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, coming into one-legged standing splits on the other side. Drawing your chest towards your left leg. Drawing your right leg towards the sky, any amount. Feel free to bend your knee on the left leg. Go a little bit higher. You've got this. On your next exhale, bring your left leg down. Release into a forward fold. Press into your feet, reverse swan all the way up. Exhale all the way down. This time, bending deeply through your legs, coming all the way down and finding your way onto your back body. Putting your feet hip distance apart. Sitting up nice and tall, arms out to the side or holding onto the back of your legs. Keeping your feet on the ground, I want you to come back as slow as you can go. Keeping your feet on the mat, one vertebrae at a time. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw one knee into your chest, followed by the other. Place your hands on the front of your knees and rock from side to side. Releasing your feet down. Coming into a bridge series, we're going to do 2 bridges. So I want you to bring your heels towards your sitting bones so that when your hands go down on either side, you can just graze the side of your heels. Place your palms down on either side. Pressing into your feet, I want you to lift your hips up.
Option to roll onto one shoulder blade, then the other, interlacing your hands behind your back body. Press into your feet, lift your hips even higher. Look towards the sky. Keep the curve in the back of your neck. Press down a little bit more, lift your hips a little higher. Feel like you have a block between your knees, you're squeezing the block. One more breath. And then release your arms, exhale, come down one vertebrae at a time, all the way down. Coming into constructive rest, take your feet on either side of your mat and let your knees just knock in together, resting your palms on the front of your belly. Close your eyes. Releasing your hands back again, setting up for your second side. Bring your knees back to hip distance. When you're ready, press into your feet, lift your hips, interlace your hands, roll onto one shoulder, then the other. Bringing your shoulders underneath your back body, press into your feet, lift your hips, drawing your sternum towards your chin. Press down, lift a little bit higher. Making sure you're not taking your knees too far out to the side. You got it. Feel the strength of your legs as you press down and lift higher. One more deep breath. Even deeper, exhale through your nose. Release your hands and come all the way back down. Take your feet wide, release your knees in. Release your palms to your belly. Close your eyes. When you're ready, draw one knee into your chest, followed by the other. And depending on your lower back, you may find that when you go back into those extensions that these really big forward flexions don't feel so great. So if that's the case, just bring your knees out to here and let your knees splay out to the side and bring them back and forth until they feel comfortable. And when you're ready, you can draw your knees in. Option to come into happy baby, to reach up on the outside of your feet. Put your hands on your feet on your hands, drawing your knees nice and wide and drawing your knees into your armpits. Option to sway from side to side, whatever is comfortable. Humbling your chin, drawing your chin in a little bit, reaching up through the crown, and lengthening your tailbone towards the front of your mat. And when you're ready, releasing down, holding onto your right knee, letting your left leg go long, pressing out through the heel, flexing both your feet, drawing your abdomen in, feeling your stomach engage, holding it in nice and tight. And on the inhale, we're going to go ahead and switch, draw your left knee in. And keep going. Option to bring your head up for 10, for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, keep going, 4, 3, you can drop your head down, and 2, and 1. Last one, bring both your knees in, hug your knees in, bring your forehead to your knees, squeeze in a little bit more, and then release all the way back down. So coming into a supine twist, taking a moment to just shift both your hips over to the right-hand side. Drawing your knees in, letting both of your knees release over to the left-hand side, stacking right knee on top of left, drawing your right hand out to the side, letting your gaze follow through to the right-hand side. Breathing deeply into your right side body. Releasing your left hand out to the side, drawing both knees up to center. Putting your body back in a neutral position and just scooching your hips a little bit to the left-hand side, drawing your knees in together and then releasing them to the right side, stacking left on top of right and letting your left arm at shoulder height come all the way out to the left. And if it's comfortable, let your gaze come over top of your left shoulder. Let go of any stress or tension. Go ahead and bring your knees back to center. And take a couple moments to do whatever posture that you want to do before you get ready for your final resting pose in Shavasana. So if you need to twist one way or the other, stretch or lengthen, shoulder stand, whatever feels comfortable for you, maybe even a minute of headstand, whatever inversion makes you happy. And when you're ready, take some time to come into your final resting posture. Draw your heels nice and wide on your mat. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath your back body. Rest your palms towards the sky. And close your eyes. As I always do, while you're resting in Shavasana, either share a poem or a card. And today I picked a card for a yoga practice from Alana Fairchild's Love Your Inner Goddess. And the card that I picked today is called Rockstar. And if I may, I'm going to read it to you. Rockstar. There's a light in you that wants and needs to be seen. A side of you that is bold, bright, and unique. Even if it's something different for you, or you aren't sure how comfortable you are going to be on center stage, sometimes there's a higher purpose for you being placed in the spotlight. One purpose can be to develop self-acceptance and self-confidence. Then you can rock your true self without having to tone it down, play it safe, or rein it in. You can become so comfortable in your own skin that you no longer hide your inner divine beauty. Maybe others will then become less afraid to be themselves because you have shown them that being cool is about being cool with who you are, refusing to be stereotyped by people with insufficient imagination. There's power in the freedom of not fitting in. You, rather than someone else, get to decide how you want to live your life. Relish it. Be creative with it. You are meant to be free to express yourself authentically and to be seen doing it. So claim your inner rock style and strut your stuff, your soul stuff, into the world. When you're ready, start to move your fingers and toes. Draw the inseams of your feet together and your legs together. Pressing out through your toes. Inhaling, reaching your arms up over top of your head. Inhaling, reaching up, letting your ribs reach toward the sky, and exhaling and releasing all the way back down. When you're ready, roll onto your right or your left side, keeping your eyes closed and coming to sit in a cross-legged Sukhasana or easy seat, whatever is comfortable for you.
When you're ready, place the palms of your hands on the front of either one of your knees. Releasing your chin towards your chest, let your hips fall backwards, rounding through the shoulder blades. Chin towards your chest. Inhaling, sitting up nice and tall, opening and broadening your chest to the front of your room. Exhale, pressing into your hands, releasing your hips back, chin towards chest, pressing back. One more time. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Curl your shoulder blades back, reaching up through your crown and releasing your hands down on either side. Inhale, arms up, all the way to the top. Option to look up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Placing your left palm over top of your heart center, your right palm over top of your left. Bow your chin deeply. And thank yourself for joining me and joining yourself in your yoga practice today. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Well, that's Monday. Thank you so much for joining me in the yoga practice today. I will be doing a few more yoga practices here and there over the next coming weeks as I start to solidify my yoga room. This is my bedroom. This is where it won't be. And I am so grateful that you joined me in the practice today. I know it's not always so easy when we're in different time zones, different times, busy families, busy life. But I'm so grateful. And I hope that you had a wonderful practice. And I will see you soon. Take care, everyone. Mwah.